for our own benefit, but not only our own benefit, but for all beings' benefit. Okay. Then you can change your seat if you like, change the cross of the legs perhaps. Bring your fingertips out to the side and wriggle to feel your sitting bones. And then bring one arm out. I'm starting with my left. Bring it up by your ear, turning the palm towards the opposite side and reach out and over. I'm going to come in and out a few times. You can do it with breath. And exhale takes you over. And you decide how far over you go. Let the right arm slide away from you. Let the right shoulder, try not to let that hike up. And then at some point you can stay over and circle out through your wrist. Circle out through the wrist. And as you slowly come up, keep your head hanging towards the right, towards one side, and then give a stretch of your side of your neck. Like, woo! And then we're going to go somewhere in between. Now come to your comfortable seat again. We're not too giving in to the pain. We're not pushing the difficulties. Through your wrist with your right hand. And then as you come up, keep your head hanging to the left and give a stretch out through the side of your neck. Just do it in a gentle way, what works for you, reaching out through your fingertips. And then bring the left hand to the side of the face, help your head up for a moment. And then bring yourself onto your hands and knees. You can use the blanket if you like underneath the knees. Spread your hands a lot and start to make circles with your hips. Begin with circles. Circles, big circles one way and the other way. Over to the side, forward, other side and back in reverse direction. Moving the hips, getting a sense of the upper leg bone, where it fits into the pelvis. We're giving some circular movement there. Then let's take it back to a child's pose, big toes together, knees wide. And you can come forward. You could bring your forehead on the back of the hands or your forehead on the fists and release down. And take a few breaths there with your head down, the belly between the thighs, the knees wide. You can move your hips side to side. And when you're ready, bring yourself back up onto hands and knees. And you can arch in the back, look forward and exhale round. We'll do this a few times. You're just in your body, sensing, feeling, and moving. You don't have to do things perfectly or correctly. You do it in a way that's enjoyable for you. Arch, and you can pause in any one. You could pause in the round and push up between shoulder blades a bit more, tuck the tailbone under a bit more. And drop the belly, lift the chest a bit more, stretch the front of the neck. And then keeping your hips up, we can extend the arms out so you get more length through the arms. You can bring your chin to the ground, and your tush stays up high. Your tush stays up high, so then this gets a stretch through the arms. You can bring your forehead down. Some people find they bring their chin down. So big length all the way through the arms and side body. Take another deep breath in and out, lengthening your exhalations. Bring it back onto hands and knees. Take the right leg back and lift the right leg. You can circle out your ankle there. You can peek back to see where it is. Try not to open the hips too much. And slowly down. Let's take the left leg back, lift up and circle. Feel the weight of the leg, feel the engagement in the back body. And down, we're going to do the arms, so take the weight into the left hand, push the floor away, reach the right arm forward. Reach out through fingertips or circle. And slowly down and take the weight slowly over, press down through the right and bring the left forward. And down, and then tuck your toes under. Bring yourself back and sit on your heels. So in this way, you're stretching the soles of the feet. My feet are a little grubby because this is the time of the year to go around barefoot around here in New England. So sit on your toes and try and stretch the soles of your feet. Some people, this is easy, and some people it's really hard. So if it's too difficult, you can just come up for a moment. But otherwise, you see if you can give that opportunity to stretch underneath the feet. Another deep breath in and out. And bring your hands forward. We'll take 2 downward facing dogs. I don't do too many down dogs in this class because it's not the gentlest pose and it's not the easiest pose, especially for beginners. You take your knees a little further back, feet are hip distance, hands are spread, and you press them down. Turn your toes under, and on an exhale, take the hips high and back, push the floor away, look back between the legs. You can inhale onto tiptoes, exhale, press down into heels. If at any point it's too strong, you just come down onto your knees again or take a child's pose. You're lengthening through the arms, lengthening all the way up, pushing the top of the thighs back. If you're new to yoga and you find this pose hard, you're with the program. It's not an easy pose. It's a popular pose, but not an easy one, especially at first. Okay, let's take a moment to rest, child's pose. And in this child's pose, you can relax in your wrists. Just give a little relax through the arms and the wrists. And then we'll take number 2. So you press down, spreading the fingers, knees a little further back, tuck toes under, feet hip distance, push the floor away, lengthen through the arms, let the head hang. You could press down slowly through one heel and then the other heel. I like to do that with a full exhalation, 1 exhalation per heel. If I do it too fast, then I feel like I'm getting ready to sprint, run a race. So slowing it down. So finish up your down dog. Maybe you took some other variations. That's cool as well, of course. You do you. I provide the basic structure, but you do you in your practice. And if you have yoga blocks, they're going to be very useful right about now. If you don't, you'll manage without. So from your hands and knees, step your left foot forward and bring your hands on your blocks. Your back foot can straighten, back toe tucks under, and then you straighten out the back leg. So we're in a lunge with the hands on blocks, or you can also have your fingertips down. Then as your back leg is straight, let the pelvis descend. And you might move a little in and out of that. So without blocks. Or if you have your leg down, you might even do a little of that. So we're moving in and out of letting the pelvis descend. We're really tugging across the top of the back leg, whichever way you're doing it. Okay, long breath. And then let's bring the knee down and come back onto hands and knees. You can sit for a moment. You might feel the difference between the thighs. And then we'll get the other leg forward, the right leg. Blocks, and blocks aren't too expensive if you like to do yoga. Getting 2 blocks, get the thicker ones. They're really useful. Turn your back toe under and straighten out your leg. And then you can descend the pelvis. You can move a little up and down. And we're trying to keep the back leg more straight to get across the top of the thigh. You could also do it with the hands down. Actually, that way I think is even stronger. And then just whatever amount of lunge that you have. When I teach, I do a lot of lunges. So usually if you're not used to lunges, if you stay with me for a while, your body will become more accustomed to them. Okay, so reaching back. Finishing off, coming back onto hands and knees. Get your blocks out of the way. And then bring yourself into a squat. Squat for a moment, heels down. Doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if your heels are down or not. You could use your fingertips to help you balance, or you could bring your hands together and the elbows to the inner knees. Then after a few breaths in squat, let's go into a standing fold. Keep your knees a little bent and hold opposite elbow with opposite hand. Knees stay a little bent. Transfer the weight front and back of your feet. Let yourself sway side to side and front and back. Head heavy. Release the arms, press down into the feet, keep the knees bent, sweep the arms out, and then rise high. Arms over your head, and exhale, palms through your center. Sweep out, inhale. Exhale, arms by the side. So just we take a few deeper breaths and reach out into your space. Reach. So this is, essentially the kind of thing we do after we've been in the car, a long drive, we get out, we go, oh. So do a little of that on purpose. Then interlace the hands behind your back. And if interlace is not possible, you can use a belt or a scarf to help you bring the hands behind your back. Give a squeeze and open in the front of your chest. Bend your knees and forward fold. Look back. Belly between thighs. And then coming up, sweeping the arms over your head again. Exhale, interlace the hands behind. Other thumb is on top now. Squeeze back. Take a moment here, whether the elbows are bent or straight, just whatever you can manage, trying to pull the shoulders back. Bend the knees again, bring your belly down, look back between the feet, see if the arms come away. You can go straighter with the legs if that feels good for you, if all the signs are good, or you can keep legs bent. And then bend the knees and rise all the way up, sweep the arms over the head. And pause, bring your hands back in front of the heart, coming to the front of the mat, taking a moment. So what we'll do is, with the hands on the hips, I'll face you just so you can see, bring your feet hip distance. Take your hands on the rim of your pelvis, transfer the weight into your right leg, and we're going to take a big step back with the left leg and come into a lunge. So in vinyasa, we step into this pose from down dog, but that's quite hard for a lot of people. So you're going to transfer your weight, bend the leg, and take a big step back into a lunge. And then hands are here, and now little higher lunge becomes, we have to focus on balance. So you can, extend the lunge if you like, or you keep it not too deep. Let the pelvis descend and straighten out the back leg. Right? Straighten the back leg. You can even squeeze the back part of your tush. You can keep your hands here on the waist for balance, letting your eyes settle somewhere, letting your breath move smoothly in and out. Or you can bring your hands to your heart as you sit down into lunge, or you can sweep arms up, but just whatever works for you today. Being more fancy, taking the bigger pose is not really the goal, the point. It's just for you to do your yoga. Some of you might like to lean back. That adds more challenge. If that's a useful thing for you today or not, you might still be here, very happy, working. Okay, last breath. Hands to the hips. You're going to push off the back foot and come and stand. Okay. And take a moment there, and we'll go the other side, a high lunge, adding in the balance component without the hands on the blocks. Bend the knees, transfer the weight to the left. Big step back with the right, and then once we get there, just give it time. Some of you might like to inch the foot back a little bit more. You have your feet a little distance left to right, not on a balance beam. So no rush, just hands on the hips, straightening out the back leg, feeling where your hips are in space, bending the front knee an appropriate amount, squeeze the tush of the back leg. And then if you want to take a different hand position, feel free, make sure your breath is moving in and out. Your gaze is steady but expansive. And the arms might come up. Some of you might like to lean back, add challenge. It's not necessary. We're all different. And just honor your practice today. Just showing up and doing something, moving your body, you're already way ahead. It's already wonderful. Okay, last moment. And then we're going to get ready to push off the back leg and come and stand. Now let's take some swings, feet, hips, hip distance, and look over your right shoulder, swing the arms, and look over the left shoulder. Let your hands tap your body. First, the hands can tap on the pelvis. And the hands tap a little bit higher on the waist and the low ribs. Let your face look around. And then your hands can tap higher on the back and in the front of the armpit chest area. So the hands tap a little higher, at different heights. So there's some little love taps, looking around, freeing your spine and energizing the space around you and the space within you. Okay, back to center. And then standing along the long edge of your mat, we can take the legs nice and wide. Wide legs. Okay, we'll take a standing forward fold. Have your feet parallel. Sweep the arms up and hinge at your pelvis. So you're hinging right here at the pelvis. You can bring your hands here. And you can also bend the knees to help you fold, especially if you only fold about this much. Some people, that's just how their body is. Then bend the knees so you can fold more from your hips. See if you can get even the fingertips to the ground. Head is heavy. Shake the head, yes and no, and side to side. Move your hips a little side to side, legs straight or legs bent. Explore both options. Emphasize a long exhalation. Then grounding into your feet, knees bent. Sweep the arms out to the side, over the head, rise up. And palms through center. Bring the hands on your waist, your hips, and turn the whole of the right foot out, left foot in. Then you can turn towards your front leg and bend the knee. And as you bend the knee, you're ensuring the knee doesn't roll in. The knee stays in the direction of the baby toe. Then turn your shoulders back. Look at your back leg. Energize the back foot down and straighten out the back thigh. Hands to the heart, shoulders open along the long edge of the mat. And then exhale, we move into warrior two. And turn the palms up, reaching between the arms. Strong legs. 3 more breaths. And when you're in your pose, you don't have to be like stone, completely still. You can move and explore this. I'm giving you the basic structure, but you kind of explore around that basic structure and then come back to center. And as long as your breath is moving, and of course, if anything feels risky or unsafe, then you simply don't do it. You empower yourself to keep yourself safe in your practice. Turn the whole of the left foot out, especially in these times of Zoom, YouTube yoga, where the teacher's not watching you specifically. Left foot turns out, right foot turns in, heel back, and look at your front knee. Hands can be on hips, and then bend the front knee and really check that it goes to baby toe. Turn your shoulders back and look at the back foot. Press the back foot down, firm up the back leg. Make sure your front knee didn't roll in, which is what it tends to do. Shoulders come back, hands to heart. And on your exhale, extend arms wide. Turn the palms over and let's take a few breaths. Deep breaths in and out. And then you, like I was saying, explore around the pose. Keep the breath moving smoothly. Reach through the arms, strong legs, smooth, long, deep breath, long exhales. Then come up, hands to your heart. Sweep out, rise high. Maybe a little back bend here. Exhale and flow. Low. Flow yourself into half. Let's bend the knees, and that way you can move your weight more towards one foot, more towards the other foot. Take a little side to side movement. Sometimes this pose we tend to just straighten and lock the legs. So I like to do a lot of bending and straightening so we get that skill in the legs to have the choice between bent and straight, because there's a lot of benefit to also do the pose with knees bent. Okay, and then we'll come up, grounding into the feet. Knees can bend a little bit, sweep palms out and over your head, rise high. And palms through center. We'll take one more pose, starting basically the warrior two foundation. Turn the whole of the right foot out, left heel back, front knee bends towards baby toe, back foot plugs in, hands to heart. Exhale, warrior two. And then side angle, forearm on the thigh, or if you know other versions of it, feel free to do that. Try not to hang down on the bottom shoulder, push away, open the top shoulder, reach arm to the sky, and then out of your ear, reach out, lengthen the side body, back foot plugs in, front knee you can check is staying over the ankle, not rolling in. You want to be able to see the knobbly bit on the inner ankle. Okay, and the head is comfortable. You can look down or up or just sideways. And bring yourself back to the middle, hands to heart or hips, whatever you like. And then we'll take it the other side, turn the whole of the left foot out. Right heel goes back. Warrior two. And then side angle, lifting off the bottom shoulder, opening up the top shoulder, reaching the arm to the sky and out over your ear, and lengthen. Lengthen a lot, side body. And look down, side or up. Legs are firm, you're breathing well. Your face can be relaxed. One or two breaths more. And then ground into your feet and come up, and we'll take the last wide leg standing fold. In this wide leg standing fold, you can get your two fingers and bring them under your thumbs if that's accessible. That's available. So your fingers go underneath. Press the toe. Sorry, I said thumb. Press the toe into the fingertips. If that doesn't work, you can grab your ankles, or you can just bring the hands in the middle. So I like to give options. People can choose. You have your power to choose. You're just doing a practice that is helpful for you this morning that you can enjoy. Long breaths, two more long breaths, lengthening your exhale. And then as you heel toe, come back into a squat. Heel toe back into a squat. Heel toe together. And come and take your seat. Extend the legs out. Extend your legs out. Then let's bring, let's see, extend the legs out. Actually, let's lie and lie down on the belly. Come all the way down to the belly. Forehead can rest on your hands. Just let your hips move side to side. And then bring yourself onto your forearms for Sphinx. or you can come a little bit higher for cobra. Take a few breaths. We'll do another one, but just giving you the general idea of the shape. The legs can be a little bit away from one another. And then slowly come down. Move the pelvis side to side. Then engage in your legs, squeeze your quadriceps. And again, come up into Sphinx. Or the hands are quite forward. You can push up a little bit more, but keep the shoulders down. Your head can be down, and you decide how high up you come according to the sensation in your low back. Don't overdo it. For some people, staying nice and low, even the arms more forward, is best. Head can hang or forward, or if you like, stretch the front of your throat. And then bring yourself all the way down and relax. Let your pelvis move side to side. Hands by your chest and push the floor away. Come onto hands and knees for a moment and then transition so that you lie on your back. Transition so you're lying on your back. Okay, knees bent. It's very humid and hot here today in New England, end of August. The humidity is like, whew. Okay, lie on your back, knees bent. We're going to take a bridge pose. So you can maybe just touch the back of your heels with your fingertips. And then lift your pelvis, low back, mid back, upper back up off the floor. Roll your shoulders under, and then you can either lift the hands and press the elbows down, or you can interlace the hands behind your back. Keep the feet pressing down. Let the back of your neck lengthen. Chin comes in towards the throat. Don't overdo the lengthening in the back of the neck, but do let it lengthen. Little squeeze in your butt, not too much squeeze, but you need a little squeeze there. And use your legs. Take 3 more breaths. And then on the third exhalation, slowly 1 vertebra at a time, upper back. Press the waist down before you let the pelvis come down, the waist press down, and then the pelvis lands down. Your feet can come as wide as the mat. Gently drop the knees one side. Gently drop the knees the other side. Go side to side a couple of times. And then we'll take a second bridge pose. Feet hip distance. 1 more. When you're ready, be sequential. It's like first you do a pelvic tuck, take the tailbone, then sacrum, and then the low back, and middle back, and the upper back. Round into your feet, especially the ball of the big toe. Stretch out the back of the neck. Don't overdo that, but some people forget to do that at all. Okay, and some long breaths. Engage the legs and lift the pelvis. The eyes relax. Lift up a little more if it's available. You can decide you might inch your feet forward a tiny bit. Sometimes that allows a little more lift. And then slowly come down 1 vertebra at a time. 1 vertebra at a time, release down. Hug the knees in and circle the legs around one way. Circle the legs around the other way. Then you can either rock and roll. Sorry, I'll just close my window. Some yard work happening out there. You can either rock and roll or roll over to the side to push yourself up. So we can do a forward bend, we'll do a twist, and then our relaxation. Your legs extend out. Bring the sole of the right foot into the left inner thigh. Close the right knee. Take a little twist in the direction of the extended leg and a little lift in the chest. And when you're ready, deliberately forward fold over your leg and look down. You might pull your toes back. You don't have to. Just an opportunity for a forward bend. If you have your block, you could rest your head on your block. Otherwise, take about 6 long breaths. More of a surrender now. Less effortful than a few of the poses we've been doing. Just a giving in. Release deep underneath the base of the back of your neck. Finish with a longer than usual exhale. And then bring yourself up. Let's change the cross, not the cross of the legs, just switch the legs over. So now the right leg is extended, sole of the left foot into the inner thigh. Close the knee more towards the leg rather than back. Take a little twist towards the extended leg, the right, so hands down anywhere to help give some twist and a lift in the chest. So I have one hand behind me helping me do that. And then when you're ready, from your hip socket, forward fold over your leg. I didn't say, but it's fine if you bend the knee a little bit. If you need to bend the knee, it's no problem. You just show up and you move in your body. It's good to have something that you enjoy and that's sustainable and you can do regularly over many, many, many years, over a lifetime, to help keep you healthy. And yoga, even though in our competitive, culture, it might feel like, oh, we have to achieve the poses. It's not like that. That's the idea of yoga is actually to come into a steadiness and a happiness, a joyfulness, a blissfulness, a stability, steady, grounded, and something that's pleasurable, that feels okay. And the external shape is secondary. The external shape is by the way. And of course, the modern day yoga is very obsessed about the external shape, but you don't need to be. Lengthen the back of the neck, take a couple more long breaths out. Everyone's shape is different. Everyone's shape will change as the years go by. You show up and you do you in a safe and happy way, safe and enjoyable way, just moving, breathing. And when you're ready, bring yourself up or lie down on the back. Take a twist each side and then a relaxation. Props like blocks and blankets can be useful for both the twist and the relaxation. So lie on your right side. We'll get into the twist by lying on the right side. Hug your knees up. And then what I like to do is straighten my bottom leg a little bit and bring my top leg on top of a blanket or a block. Then you start to twist in your upper chest and open your top arm. So you can keep both knees together and up. You could completely straighten the bottom leg. You could straighten the top legs. You could cross the legs over into a twist. So do something that is that you can relax into. And then the props give you more choice. And the left arm can reach up or out to the side, whatever's good for you. And twist through your belly. Feel the massaging of your gut, of your abdomen, of your digestive organs as you breathe. Lengthen your exhale. And then let's bring it back into the center and roll all the way over to the other side. Roll all the way onto your left side. So you're on the left side of the pelvis. And then you can decide all the various options that I gave you on twists, variations of twists, arranging your legs and then opening the top shoulder, twisting the ribs, and taking the twist on the other side. Something that you can relax into. So it's like if there's no version of twist that you can relax into today, then you would just leave it out. Do something super simple. As one of the very early yoga pioneers, her name was, I've forgotten, she was an Italian woman who studied with B.K.S. Iyengar in the 50s. Anyway, she said, yoga is a pleasant conversation with your body. Pleasant appointment is an appointment where you have a pleasant conversation with your body. Two more breaths. Lengthen your exhale. And then bring yourself back to the middle. And you can set up for relaxation. I'm going to use my blanket, roll it into a bolster, and take it underneath the back of my knees. With the legs a little bit bent, it assists the low back to relax. It assists the pelvis and the low back to be able to become more neutral, more relaxed. Okay, and then the arms away from the body. Use whatever props are good. Even a little something under your head. And once you've done a little arranging of the limbs, and then you decide, okay, now is the time for me to become more still. And space and time for your whole mind, body, heart to integrate the movement practice, the shapes, the breath. Allow some time to simply be, nothing to do. Noticing your experience, experience your experience. Letting go into your fullness, into your integrity, into your beingness.